So now tracing evolutionary relationships. The evolutionary relationship between different species can be traced out by many methods. One is by observing the internal structure of organs of organisms. That will give some sync, some relation. The other thing is observing the remnants of dead organisms or extinct organisms, that is by fossils. The other method is by carbon dating. By observing the fossils using carbon dating technology, we can find out. We get some proofs for this evolution. And recently, due to the advancement in biotechnology, now we can analyze the DNA. Whether it is a live organism or dead organism, its DNA can be analyzed to find out what are the various genes and to which species it belongs to. So in this way, by all these techniques, we get some proofs for this process of evolution. So among these, the first one we see here, organs. The arrangement, the structure of organs. It gives a notion, idea about the evolution of species. Here we see that homologous organs, we know that we have 4 limbs, 2 hands, 2 legs. Here we take this example, frog, lizard, bird, human. So all these 4 animals has got 4 limbs, but they use them in a different way. Frog uses its limbs in a different way compared to human. Lizard uses its limbs in a different way compared to that bird. Bird uses its limbs in a different way compared to human. Bird uses to fly with its 4 limbs. Human, he cannot fly with the 4 limbs. He pick the things, he hold the objects, he pick the fruits and flowers. So he does so many things with the hands. So here the organs are used for different purpose, but internally, if you see the number of bones and the arrangement of bones in the hand of frog, lizard, bird, human being, they all have similar kind of arrangement of bones, similar structure of bones in the hand, which are called as homologous organs. So this is called as a homologous characteristic. So on basing, this gives an idea that these all have evolved from a common ancestor. That means, it doesn't mean that in all the cases, the organisms that have similarity, homologous nature in the structure of their organs are need not necessarily evolved from common ancestor, but this gives an idea. In most cases, we can find this idea that the homologous nature, that means the homologous organs, the presence of homologous organs indicates that these have evolved from a common ancestor. In some cases, you see that analogous organs, that means function is same, but the structure is different. If you see the wing of a bat and a bird, the function is same. Bird uses to fly, bat also uses its wing to fly. But internally, their structures are different. Bird, it has got its wing mostly because of the feathers. But bat, if you see the bat, it will be having the skin. The wing of the bat is made up of skin between its digits. So between the finger folds, there is a skin of the bat. So this makes the wing of the bat. But functionally they are similar. But if you see the internal structure, it is different. But outside, if you see, they may appear more similar compared to this. You may feel that bat and bird are much closely related, because you may think that this is having wing, that is having wings. Both are having wings. So bat and bird are closely related. So it is not that. So such organs, the organs that have the similar function in different organisms but have different structure are called as analogous organs. The organs that have similar structure but different function, those are called as homologous organs. So in the tracing evolutionary relationships, we will move on to the next one, that is the fossil. What are fossils? Fossils are the dead remains of the organisms that lived a few centuries ago. So that are not existing now. We know that many animals and plants, became extinct, means they are not existing in the present era. Long ago they lived and they died. So the remains of this dead animal or any of its remains or body parts, sometimes they get preserved in the earth. We call them as fossils. So by studying the fossils, we get more relationship between these species. We get more and more information about the process of evolution. So the next one is fossils. By studying the fossils, we can understand the evolutionary relationships. So what are fossils? The dead remains of plants and animals that are buried under the ground. Generally, when an organism is died and buried under the ground, it will be decomposed by the bacteria. So nothing remains in the mud, everything mixes up with the soil. But in certain cases, in certain circumstances, certain remains of the organisms or maybe the complete organism are preserved under the earth in some different situations for a very long period. So these things are obtained when we dig, when the excavation is done. So there, by studying that fossil, you can understand the evolutionary relationship. But how do they estimate how old the fossil is? How do they estimate what is the age of the fossil that they found? So they find different kind of things, the bones of animals, sometimes the trunk of trees, the leaves are also trapped in the rock. When the lava is molten, something is trapped in the air spaces of the lava and it is trapped. And some insect or some fish, it might got caught in the hot mud, so which is packed. So by that the body of the organism is not destroyed and the mud becomes hardened and it stays there for thousands and thousands of years. When somebody digs there, historians, they dig in the earth, excavations they do, archaeologists, they find out the traces of history, the proofs for the history, even for evolution. So they may find such kind of fossils. So by studying this fossil, they can understand the relationship. But how do they study here? How do they estimate the age of the fossil? By two methods. One is a relative method. Relative method means the layers of the earth, at which layer it is found. So we may found the bones of the dinosaur in the bottom layer because millions of years ago they became extinct. And they may find the bones of some other bird like dodo in the recent, because it got recently extinct. So the recently extinct animal remains are found in the top layers because the earth is covered layer by layer. From time to time layers are formed. So the fossils are found so deep, those are so old. The fossils that are found in the top, those are recent. So this is the relative method. The other one is finding the ratios of isotopes of the minerals found in the fossil. This is called as carbon dating technique. So by finding the isotopes, the ratios of isotopes of the minerals found in the fossil. So whatever the fossil they collect, from that fossil they take the sample, they find the ratios of the isotopes of the mineral in the fossil. So by that they can estimate the age of the fossil. So fossils also give the proof about the evolution. So most of the things about the dinosaurs, we came to know about the dinosaurs because of these fossils. The fossils of various kinds of dinosaurs, they were found in the soil, in the ground. So by studying that we got the more information, when they existed, how they existed, what were their food habits, and what members of the dinosaurs were vegetarians and what were carnivorous, dangerous, and all these things we had come to know about that. Say for example, if you find the teeth of a particular dinosaur, by looking at the teeth, the sharp teeth tells that it is a carnivore. The teeth might be having some kind of flesh or bone of another animal is attached. By testing that, yes, you can understand this one was eating some other animal, so this is a carnivore. So likewise, by studying the fossils, we get the information about the species that is not existed today. So the extinct species information can be studied by the studying of fossils.